since I joined this museum as night watchman, my life is not normal as before. This was an ancient palace with a lot of historical artifacts and religious murals. This place is haunted. During night, I will be all alone, and I see shadows, hear creepy noises, hissing winds. After 1 a.m., I stay in garden area and would never try to enter the building. The most haunting thing is the ghost of a lady on the bell tower. People, including myself, has seen a shadowy lady figure stands at the top of the 8-story tower. I have seen it many times and no longer glance at the tower past midnight. That day, when I swiped into my shift, I have seen a note at register that a new gardener have joined the museum. I finished my roundups, and an hour past midnight, I reached the garden. There was a tall man standing near the neem tree. He had a big white mustache that was shining as silver. He seemed an old person, but his body looked like a solid trunk. He smiled and waved at me and was smoking a cigar. I asked if he is the new gardener, and he nodded. We talked for a while about himself and this place. He said he belongs to a remote southern village and said all his sons and daughters are now grown up and no longer cares about him. I felt little pity, though it's a usual story of older people. He seemed friendly, though his physical appearance seemed intimidating at first glance. A week have passed. I am getting a feeling that this gardener never sleeps, as I always see him smoking his cigar at random places. He just roams around the entire night, and at times I heard him humming some village folk lyrics. He is giving me a warm feeling, and it's always good to have a company at this haunted place. I started seeing his workmanship in short time as the colorful flowers started blossoming all around the garden. One night, I saw him coming out of the museum courtyard, and I tried to warn him about haunting of this place. I advised him not to enter the building post midnight. He started laughing loudly and said there is no ghost or God. He asked me to believe in myself and asked to be rational. While he talking, I dared to look at the bell tower and got chills on my spine. I see the shadowy lady on top floor, and I got shivers, as if I am seeing it for first time. I patted him to look at the tower without saying a word. He looked at it for a while and said it's just some illusion. He asked me to go and check it myself. I said I bet he himself wouldn't go there alone, though he talks about bravery and strength. He accepted the bet and asked me to bring goat meat tomorrow if he succeed in this bet, and rushed towards the tower. As he was climbing the stairs, I felt guilty for putting him on danger, and if something happens to him, I would be the one held responsible. I still see the shadow ghost image through the glass window. My heartbeat was constantly increasing. The 8th floor window suddenly opened with a loud creak as I was observing with my jaw wide open. Gardner emerged from the window with his cigar. He started laughing loudly and waved his hands towards me and said I must bring his goat meat without fail. I felt relieved, though it was little embarrassing as I lost the bet. This man is one hell of character, and I wish I had at least a small fragment of his bravery. Next day, I got him his favorite meat, and he was full of joy and thanked me for keeping my promise. He just went inside his cabin, and within few minutes, he returned the empty vessel. I was wondering if he ate all of them within that short time or just transferred them to another vessel. More days have passed. Somehow I felt the palace is not gloomy as before. I started questioning the existence of ghost or even the god. I dared to enter building post midnight, and the shadowy ghost is gone forever. Gardner had some rare talents. He was reading the ancient stone inscriptions, which only the experts would able to read. He was explaining them to me. Looks like a war memoir. He was explaining as if he existed during those wars. Seems like he has very good historical awareness. It's been months now since I have seen the ghost of the bell tower. However, the gardener seems to be sad nowadays. He said he started missing his children and want to move back to his native again. I was sad that he is leaving, but happy for him to be with his family again. He said his children did not know about his whereabouts and asked my help to contact them. I was surprised that he didn't even have a phone. He bring me inside the art gallery section of the museum, and there was a big statue of a village demigod. He asked me to look at the feet of the statue closely. There was some numbers scribbled on it, and he said that's one of his son's phone number. He asked me to call him tomorrow morning and inform about his whereabouts. He insists I call from a public telephone so that my identity wouldn't be revealed. I wondered why. He said he don't want me get into any trouble. I agreed, and something struck on my mind. What would I tell to his son? I didn't even know his name. I am sure he said when we met first time, but are quite embarrassed to ask it. He said his name is Muni Raj. I wondered how he read my mind. I dialed to his son and said about his father's whereabouts. He was initially clueless, but I explained his appearance and name. His voice became cold. He asked who I am, and I just simply hung up as per old man's advice. That night, I went to my shift, and there was chaos everywhere around the museum. There was a lot of people gathered. There was police vehicles, and there was media people. I sneaked into the building and checked with admin officer about it. He said there was a smuggled idol inside the museum, which is a demigod of a southern village. Looks like someone tipped off to the villagers, and they all came here to recover their statue. He said there is an ongoing investigation on the smuggling. I asked him about the gardener. He said, which gardener? Things started to make sense slowly within me. Past midnight, I walked to the art museum, where the old man showed me the statue. As expected, the statue is not there. It took some time to digest everything that happened to me for last few months. I was sitting at the garden and looked at the bell tower. I see the ghost lady again, standing at the top, with her hands touching the glass window. I feel she is staring right at me. I felt I am back to square one in this place. I remembered the old man's last word.
When you are in charge, you are the in charge. Fear none and be brave.
My old friend has given me an invaluable inheritance of bravery. I started towards the tower stairs and climbed up. As I passed each floor, I made my mind solid. I believed on the strength of my shoulders. I hold guard baton firmly and entered the 8th story. There was nothing in there. I opened the window and stood where the old man stood before. There was a gentle breeze on my face. I felt no fear. I felt in charge. I am the Demigod.